Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to My Games to Grab in early 2019. Let's roll the clips. This is all my personal opinions, and the first game we're going to start off with is Black Desert. Black Desert is an online fantasy medieval role-playing game where thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people can confirmly play on a server together, interact with one another, and you can pick from these wonderful characters we have here on display. We have huge guys with big axes, we have wizards, warlocks, elves, we have a mixture of male and female characters that you can play as, which I love to see in my current modern video games, and a good mixture here for everyone's play style. We see a great scope already of the size of the enemies we could be coming up against, as well as just how intrigued the world is with all these kingdoms and laws. Another clip here I loved in slow motion of the big monsters we'll fight. A great cinematic shot of some locations we could possibly explore with some birds. And now this footage is particularly important. It's the different classes doing their abilities and whatnot. So we had a swordman, a wizard, this she-devil person, I don't know her class, this warlock wizard woman. And it's just a unique art style, a unique game that I've never seen before. I love the bow and arrow stuff as well. That looks really cool. And this guy's my favourite, the one with two massive God of War axes, which is really cool. And the warlock himself. So we have loads of different classes you can play as depending on your skill level and your preference. There's also many things to do. Farming is another great thing. Exploring, foraging, fishing. There's hunting, I believe, as well. There's plenty of things to do, plenty of loot to carry, and horse riding if you love that. And castle conquering is one of the coolest new things I've seen in this trailer. You and a whole fleet of your people. Look how colourful and bright everything looks and how interesting that looks. You can do that with your friends, take over castles, and explore this magical world together. Moving on to a more grounded game now is a PlayStation 4 exclusive called Dazed Gun. This is a game, actually interesting, it's a zombie game as you can see, but this is a really big zombie game. Beautiful cinematic landscapes and interactions in the environment. You're a motorbiker, and this is a single player story game, so if you've got a PlayStation 4, I recommend you pick this up. It comes out April 6th. It's a brilliant game starring you, the protagonist, who plays this man who's part of this motorcycle gang. There's a backstory to him, but there's animals in the game, not just zombies and yourself. There's loads of different elements, loads of different environments. We've got the upper mountain areas. I believe there's 6 different environments. We've got desert canyon passes. We've got loads of cool stuff. The birds and all the animals that function at the green flora and everything that looks phenomenal. The fire in the mountains looks really cool. So depending where you live, where your base is, where you're exploring and visiting, you'll always have your motorbike to get you through every terrain possible. But obviously I think the weather elements will change. The bike can be upgraded with extra boosts and whatnot. And everything can be explored, interacted with. And I don't think it's compacted into a certain area at a time. I think you get the full map to go around and explore. There's jump scare moments, like this zombie girl jumps out the boot and tries to grab your head, and it looks amazing, really scary, but entertaining. Zombie trains, and I mean in zombie games, there's sometimes you feel there's not enough zombies. Well, you cannot argue here that there are not enough zombies, there are loads. A realistic amount for a zombie apocalypse. And I think that's really entertaining when you've got all this zombie panic going off and you've got to run and fight and duck and dive, and it's going to be a phenomenal game. And they show more clips here of the weather elements and how the world changes around you elementally. The weather will change depending where you are. You could be in deserts, you can be in freezing cold weather, you could be up in the hills in the snow with the rain coming down. Frost zombies are a thing as well. The environment affects the infected, which is really cool. So if you're in the snow, the zombies are hardened skinned and they're more thicker and tougher to fight. There's also outposts and other survivors in the game that you can interact with, other motorcyclists and other survivors in general, and jump scares at every tuck and turn, so it's going to be really interesting, and that's called Dazed Gun. Comes out April 6th for the PlayStation exclusive. Now there's one I want to play with my girlfriend. It's a continuation from the Far Cry series, always a great game from Ubisoft. These companies make really good games. Far Cry is this is not Until Dawn, sorry. This is Far Cry New Dawn, and this has a Mad Max sort of vibe. The world's been hit by a nuclear apocalypse. You wake up. These are the two villains, Vicky and Jessica, I think they're called. One actually is called Vicky, which is pretty funny. She's the one that just blew someone's head off with a motorcycle helmet as a melee weapon. There's the dogs back in it. There's new animal companions. You can play it 2-player, single player. This is going to be a good one to play with my girlfriend. I think we're going to have some fun travelling to all these new locations, new weapons, animals. It's got a Mad Max sort of zombie apocalypse, but without the zombies, more like, I'd say dystopia. Future dystopian Mad Max sort of thing. I love this. I slow-moed this clip in particular. He runs, he jumps over the car, spins around, and grenade launches his van and blows up, and that looks sick. So that's called Far Cry New Dawn. This one is, again, a PlayStation exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn, this one's called. There's a theme with Dawn here. I don't know who she is, but she's popular. The graphics of this are phenomenal. It's a single-player story one as well, like Dazed Gun. This one looks phenomenal. Really cool, cinematic sort of. Again, I'm a sucker for landscapes, and landscapes look beautiful in games. I love it. That looks gorgeous. On a 4K TV on my PlayStation 4 Pro, that's going to look beautiful. I love this slow mode, my favourite little moments where she ducks and dives as a child and becomes a full-grown woman. Again, starring a single female protagonist, which is really good. A nice game changer. This one's a bit old, actually. This didn't come out in 2019. This came out in, I think, 2018, late 2017, early 2018, I don't know. But I want to pick this up. It's meant to be a really good PlayStation game. And now I've got the PlayStation 4 Pro and I've done Spider-Man. I really want to play this. So this looks amazing. The animals in it are all robotic. It's a mix between like Meredith from Brave with a lot of futuristic robotic stuff, so that's going to be a cool twist. Again, all the animals and the robotic stuff look really cool, mixed with like the bow and arrow, old-fashioned type of Braveheart type of vibe I'm getting from this ginger, awesome female companion. And just the graphics of it look absolutely breathtaking. These landscapes look gorgeous, and the characters' faces look so real and human, and I love games that are like that. And the fighting in it is cool. She's a badass protagonist. You know, she's not scantily clad running around in a bikini. She's running around in a cool battle armor. She's taking down robots and fighting other people. And the different variations of animals we see: crocodiles, birds, dragons, big monsters, things like that. This thing, whatever the hell that is, looks phenomenal. Really good. And this bit as well, where she's like getting hung off the cliff, is really cool, and all the wind and the snow and shit. So yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. That looks really good. Can't wait to pick that up some point. Our next game we're moving on to is a classic. It is The Division 2. It looks like a really badass game. This looks phenomenal. Again, you can play it online. I'm going to play this on Xbox. Some of these I'm going to get for PlayStation because they're PlayStation exclusives. The rest I'm going to try and get on Xbox to either play with my girlfriend or play online with my friends, which is kind of cool. This one's set in Washington, D.C. I didn't really like the first Division, so I was shocked when the trailer excited me for this one. I didn't really see the first trailer for the first Division game. I just kind of played it and fell out of touch with it a little bit. But this looks like it's added a whole new humane element to it. The consequences of your actions seem to be a lot more important. The gunplay looks really interesting. There's new factions and new bosses and new bad guys. I think everyone was kind of fighting under the same banner the last time. But this one seems to have a really good group, so it's like a bunch of mentalists, a bunch of military guys who are bad, a bunch of crazy wackadoodles who are bad, a bunch of psycho cannibals who are bad, and then at the very end, I'm not going to spoil it yet because it's not showing it yet, but I'll talk more about that when it shows this clip. But yeah, the whole game itself looks beautifully done, really intense sort of combat if you like that third-person shooter, and I do like those types of games. Suicide bombing people, which is, you know, bad guys, and we get to kill them. We're like good guys. We're called the Division, and we're like a group of good men and women soldiers who are there to kick ass and take names. And the whole using the environment as weaponry and having these cool little drones and things. And this is boss. The crossbow looks phenomenal. That wasn't in the first game, so that's a new addition. And there's another cool Hellstorm missile thing. This thing throws this cannonball, and all these drones fly out and blow them up. That looks really cool. And then there's a bit, I think, I'm waiting for it because I do remember it looks great, but Washington DC will be a great stage to have these massive wars and fights. Obviously a post-apocalyptic viral infection that goes around and kills everyone and leaves the world a bit shaken up, and these soldiers come in. And these are the anti-division. These like are those guys that parachuted down were a whole tactical deployment team ready to kill you and your squad. So what do I think? The games that I've picked, nothing to do with awards, nothing to do with critical acclaim, just a bunch that have interested me. Some for my Xbox, because I feel that my Xbox is getting a bit stale now. A few PlayStation single-player games for me to rev up my excitement for the PS4. I don't know if I'm going to get the VR for the PS4 yet. I don't know about that. I'm trying to live stream a few stuff, but I do love the PS4 for single-player sort of games, cinematic sort of games to enjoy and just sit back and chill. And I do think that this future of gaming will become phenomenal, intriguing, interesting, entertaining. All these new games coming out look really good, and they really take my fancy. Far Cry looks cool. I can play that with my girlfriend at a much lower pace. It's not too much in your face. There's a lot going on, and you can enjoy it at your own speed, but it's a really enjoyable, fun to play and mess around game. She likes Ghost Recon Wildlands as well, which is a cool game. The Division is kind of like Ghost Recon Wildlands in a way. It's made by the same company, so I don't know if she'll like that as well. She might do. Hopefully she does. Trying to get her into gaming. It's always good to get new people into gaming, and I hope maybe some of these games that you've seen here displayed will get you into gaming. And they're all at different price ranges. Black Desert is £24. Horizon Zero Dawn, you can get that for about £23, I think. And other newer titles are all the new ones that I've shown are like 50 plus, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a good year for gaming. I can't wait to see what comes out later on. Anthem's coming out soon as well, but I couldn't find a trailer for that. But that looks phenomenal. So yeah, some great games coming up in the future. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in a bit. Thanks for watching.